Dave Perry Series day number 2, regatta number 4. 5 races in yesterday. Today's brought to you by Manta Ray. Yesterday I think it was chicken or something. Today is a different day. 32 kids from San Diego Yacht Club entered in the regatta. Something like that, 28, something like that. And yesterday did very well. Yesterday was sunny, kind of southwest westerly, near Point Loma. Geographical wind enhancement of Point Loma and shifting of the wind happened. Today, I wish I could go home. We're about to come around the bend and you'll see. South wind, then it's going to go southwest, then it's going to go southwest, and it's going to rain, then it's going to go more west, and we're looking at probably 16 to 17 knot puffs in about 3 minutes once we get around the bend here. Straight up wind toe. Oh God. Slogging in. Character building. 13 to 18, 13 to 17-year-old. Heading out, day 2. Toe lines. I'm worried about my toe line a little, actually. One thing on toes you got to be aware of is that first toe line is under a lot of pressure. They lose their main halyard or something. Is that Zach? They must have lost their main halyard. We all suspected that the wind is going to blow hard at times and then back off like it is right now. And so that's why we're not going any sort of extreme rake back. The reason why you rake back is to twist off the top of the jib. Now the way you tell if you have twist in the top of the jib is you look at the windward telltale, high and low. And you ask yourself, is the top one braking first compared to the bottom? And I would say he's braking at the top of a fraction. His top telltale is braking at the top of a fraction, which is okay. You don't want to see it's the top one moves a little more than the bottom one. Now when it's windy, it's better to be raked back, even if you have to ease the halyard a little. And that way, it's like moving the jib lead out. It will, the top windward telltale will brake sooner than the bottom. And that drives the boat more forward. Right now, they're still looking for power. So they want it braking evenly, which it pretty much is. I'd say their jib trim's probably first. Need an overbend wrinkle, yeah, because they're not overpowered, so they're on you gotta have bang on though. But you can't have so much bang that you you just pulled the bang on. You've got little overbend wrinkles in the bottom. Leech of the jib is right at the spreader. We still want side force. That's side force condition. When it gets windier, we rake back, the leech will go out more, the top of the jib will luff a little, and that'll drive the boat more forward. But right now, we're still in side force condition. We want that leech right at the spreader, tiny bit inside maybe, but not much, just because we've got to have power. Kevin and Bella, they are in third in the regatta, just a couple points out of second. Just as we suspected, this was going to be a different day than yesterday. This is much further left and much choppier because the wind has been blowing for all morning. Here's Ben and Maggie. Their jib is luffing at the top a little first, tiny bit. No, it's braking evenly. So I would suspect their leech is right at the spreader. He's 2 block because we're still looking for power. He has a little bang on. You see a little bit of overbend. Realize if you're not pointing, first thing you do in lighter wind is make sure the centerboard's down. But in heavier winds, make sure the vang is tight enough. If you don't have enough leech tension, the boat will reach. They're right at their jib looks very similar to Kevin's, except they're rounder on the bottom for some reason. Even though their boom looks a fraction lower than Kevin's. So I'm a little confused, but this looks really good. bellies. And I can't put my finger on it. They just look perfect all the time. They look so good all the time. Their jib is breaking evenly. Or nope, it's luffing at the top just a fraction sooner. Again, probably pretty good. It is choppy, so I don't want you to trim much tighter. If the jib's luffing at the top a lot, you want to sheet the sheet tighter in most conditions. We're just below overpowered. We're not overpowered. They have the same amount of bang on, I can tell by the overbend wrinkle, as Ben. This is Zach and Samantha, and they are an experienced team, probably 4th in the regatta, but close. Probably 6th or 7th in the Perry for the year. They're a very experienced team. Their leech of their jib is further out. I think he's 1/2 a pin back from yesterday, so his boom's a little lower today. That looks good. I think that Zach is probably one of the strongest kids out here. Very fit, very strong, so you can see he's very good at keeping her steady on the wire, and he pumps the main in if the boat starts to flatten out. So it keeps her from bending her knees. You want to keep load on the mast. He has no problem playing the main at all. He doesn't have hardly any bang. Taylor and Victoria, one of the newer teams, even though they're a little older. I think Taylor's a senior. They're just way too twisted on the main. It is a little bit lighter at times. There's the thing about southerlies and approaching fronts. So remember this, but approaching fronts, the wind pulses. And when the biggest part of the storm hits, it will pulse less. But as it's approaching, you'll get these pulses in the wind because it's not complete yet. You know, it's still building up. So it's low, then there'll be holes. The real key to today too is, see how flat water it is right there? That's when you're gaining height. And then you see waves coming and you load the boat up a little. And you don't have to be perfectly flat, but you do not feel over. You just have to have a lot of power and not be pointing too high as the waves go through.
Don, update from race committee. They are still setting up the funds for an AP, but it'll be a short AP until
keep going.
The pennant.
They have more twist than Kevin has, so I'm worried they won't point. Well, jib looks outstanding. Yeah, jib looks outstanding. He just needs more. He has no overbend wrinkles. Bottom of the main is too full. They're a little bigger. You know, they're not a small team by any matter. They're not a big team. The leech is stalling a little, so I think he's okay. Twist in the top of the main is not necessarily bad. That's driving force. It's driving you more forward. In lighter air, you close the leech a little more than that, and that creates side force, which is okay. You don't need to roll much, but I think that was a perfect roll. Yeah, but that's driving force with the top of the sail open. And then side force is with the top of the sail more closed, which is what we do when we're really underpowered. Which during these races, there'll be moments where we're underpowered. We're going to get rained on for a very short amount of time. Now, if you feel like you're overpowered at all, which you weren't, or you feel like you're not pointing, go ahead and pull the vang on until you see a little wrinkle at the, below the spreader. If you're overpowered, make the wrinkle bigger. I think you look good. You had a little more twist than Kevin because his vang was 2 inches tighter. But I wouldn't worry about that. I think it was driving you forward nicely. Your twist looked good. Nice.
Let's go up.
Otto and Julia. Ben and Maggie. Say net gain for Ben a little bit. Yeah, Julia. Wow, look at that swell, dude. Here we go. Oh, it just went way right. The wind just went way right, which we said every hour it's going to go a little more right. Yep. Oh God, that means that rain's gonna get us. Ah, no. Yeah, I ran over there and hid from the rain for a little bit. The wind went right. They postponed. It's a complicated sport. This is why it's so good for kids. We just saw boats on port tack going that guy's angle. And so the wind has gone even a little bit further right than it did with this initial shift. We kind of knew this was going to happen. As the rain went away, the wind would go right. So it looks windy out there again. We're in about 6 knots here, and I think they're going to be trapping in about 9-10 knots in the next few minutes. So what you would do is stand up on the deck and look far, but that is definitely good wind coming. It's very unusual to have such a short-term frontal passage. So you'd be starting up here, and definitely people are going to be trapping. Can't say definitely, but I'm going to say it's going to be 11 knots, 10, 11 knots in the next. Film from back behind the line instead of being at the end. Same as yesterday, we want the coaches, we want the sailors to take all the coaching and clinics and everything that they've done and put on a performance. Show us what you got. It is now 10 knots, maybe 9 knots. There's the Borellis, 9980, Santi, 9309. Celeste, 9446. 1813 is Ben. 9883 is Zach. Lauren here. Celeste is right next to him. See how Sean's just sailing upwind, slow, and getting away from. This is what Ben did not do against Zach in the last start. He actually took bites down and didn't need to. Only take bites down if you're getting threatened. No one's threatening. See how Connor doesn't want to take bites down. Celeste is doing a great job here. She should go main and jib in, go straight, and just get it ripping. That was actually good. She's holding it a little longer. Okay, we just got that start off. 95 something in there. 9315. That was just a great start. Okay, Ken must have been the favorite because Kingston is gonna win the race. I'm gonna call it. 9008 is gonna win the race. I'm calling it. Sean has too much twist. 9884. He did a good job here. There's Kevin, 9882, getting out of there pretty clean. Oh no, that's Kevin far left, 9882. Wyatt, 9982, trapping. This guy has a lot of bang on. This is a young team, 5693, so they're one of the youngest teams out here. His grandpa was Robbie Haynes, Olympic gold medalist. One of my mentors in life. Okay. Sean has a little too much twist, I think. You lose power when you let the main out 1 inch and it goes, look how far it's going out at the top. That's just losing side force. So you gotta keep less or have the bang on and don't, when he uses his main sheet, the lead is going out 4, 5, 6 inches. That's just losing side force, power. There's the Morelli's doing all right. 998. Those were beating about 10 boats. They only beat a couple boats the first couple races. Then I got in the boat with them for a second and we set up their change. We did a few little things different with our body movement. At the top of the swell, we're having the crew move in quite a bit at the top of the swell. They're sitting a little too far back. Jib looks pretty good. It could be a little bit too much twist in there. Could be a little tighter. There we go. Our goal today is for them to be 15 boats, which they're not doing now, but they look pretty good. They might do just beautiful.
It looks like the right was huge. The boat that's in first started at the pen, tacked right away. Zach started at the boat, which was very unfavored, but went hard right and is in second.
Yeah, Casey's forecast was talking about it's going to go 260, 2 something, and kind of hopefully build, I hope. So Kingston's winning. He's making me look good.
Coming off the line, I thought Zach was screwed because of how far ahead the boats at the pin were, and now he's in second, so massive right favored.
That's a Cam 9981, and Wyatt's to leeward of him. Here's Zach. Just, God, what a regatta he and Sam are having, man. He's a senior at Point Loma High. There's 16 kids graduating from Point Loma.
Because it's still kind of hard to hear you.
Yes, I am.
He's going to go Point Loma High School, graduate this year with 16 other people. Most of
Still hard to
them
hear me?
will be in college in
Definitely better than
September.
yesterday, but a little hard. Maybe some water got in there.
But he's going to go to San Diego State and sail for them. That's the new team at our club. We
Hello,
haven't rebuilt it. They've rebuilt it. Now, we're going to watch the exit angles of the leader. So if you're back there, you're starting to get ready to make a plan on which one you're racing to right now. And that'll be controlled by where the leaders go. It'll be controlled by which side you have boats to you a little bit. Yeah, all right, if there's 18 boats to your left, you're not getting to the left gate. So, and the crew or skipper are talking right now, left turn or right turn. That's how you talk about it. You don't say which buoy's which and which one's further up. I mean, which one is, you know, facing upwind or what, it doesn't matter, okay? Okay, so he's coming out of there. If that was a starting line, we would definitely be starting at the pin. So I just reset the gates and I did not nail it. The wind is no longer at 215. I set the gates at a 125-degree angle, and the pin that one's way further upwind. So one on Sunday, Wyatt's going to come around in 5th, and Cam is going to come around overlap 7th. Here is Celeste having her best race. Oh no, that's not Celeste. That is Charlotte Carmichael and Madeline Kirby. So that's Charlotte is from Newport or Long Beach, and Madeline is from San Diego Yacht Club. Yeah, it looks like Wyatt is really doing a lot of the movement there as the skipper, and she's moving a little bit, and he's just really flat and then looking at the other boat. See how see that? He gets speed, 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 quick look. Speed, 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 quick look. Because he's trying to get a plan. 2441 there, white hat, going upwind. I think they're in 15th. I think they did okay on that run. That's Kevin Cason right in front of her, so she's got to feel good about that. Kevin and Bella. The right paid huge on the first beat, and I would be going that way again in any sort of left beat. It's very subtle, but the junior senior crews, their spinnakers just don't collapse. So just be watching and just see if this spinnaker collapses. Okay. And the front, oh, yeah, there we go. And the bottom of the spinnaker is almost touching the front of the jib, and then it can go out, both can go out from there a little. But, you know, they're not floating it way far away from the boat. They're just projecting as much area as they can. I think some crews would be flying it further away from the forestay a little bit. Zach and Sam. Yeah, so you can see, yeah, it's actually a little ways away from the forestay, but it's not crazy. Yeah, and that collapsed because they overran the spinnaker. That's all right. They got going faster than the wind, so the wind shifted forward. Yeah, that looks pretty good. The pole doesn't need to be any higher. You lose, yeah, doesn't need to be any higher. Okay, those guys are good. Here comes Zach, man. Zach's started the day 4th in the regatta, and I think he's right on the tail. There's Wyatt. Wyatt's still winning the regatta barely by 1 point after race 1 today. Kingston is going to, they're essentially tied with 2 races to go, maybe 3, probably 2. Zach has the bang on, so I'm going to ask him.
So that is Zach's look, here he's just off his stern now, with the blue, white, and red card.
This is Cam and Will. Great race. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got, look at this. Guy has a much looser bang.
I don't have a good angle, but his stern looks very tight to me.
I think Parker was saying that he thought Zach's bang looked very tight to him. Cam and Will, yeah. Kind of one of the younger teams in the top 10 in the Perry. That's an 8th and 9th grader. Both were very, Cam was Sabbath National champ and Will was a contender. Oh, look at that. Sean going to be top 10. Oh yeah, Julia and Otto. Excellent. Excellent. Very good. Here's Oscar. Oh, Vesper. Okay, so let's see. Vesper is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. She could be 12. I thought she gained one of these. There's the Borellis, 9980. Everybody's always in the top half of the fleet. Yeah. Is something exciting going to happen? No?
Yeah, the Kerry and Will are keeping the pressure on their fast guys.
That's good though, guys. I mean, not a great rounding. I would have cut the pole off the mast earlier maybe and slowed down just in case 8614 screwed up. I could be up on that high lane. These guys just sailed great though. Okay, so we almost had a little excitement here. Good race. Totally slack current. Like you almost never see that in any sailing. That is sucker is doing circles right there. That's San Diego, the San Diego bubble. New flag. That is disqualification unless there's a general recall or postponement. The coaches got in the kids' ears. The pin end is more than 5 degrees favored, is my guess. So what the plan here for people is just like last race, is to start and tack and go long port tack. And you know, there's a lot of responsibility on the crew to help us with speed. They have to not just have their head down. They have to look back, look at other boats and try, especially boats on your hip behind you, and try to make gains on them. And when we are making gains, telling the skipper. When we're losing, you tell them a little advice, like let's sail a little lower, a little higher, or with the main a little tighter. But if you're gaining, you tell them. Anybody up here that we've got? Borelli's, Ben, Maggie, and no one down the line has tacked on to port. So you hang here for a little while, and then you start to see the leaders coming out of this side, and you tack under them, and then you judge your speed against those boats to windward. If they're rolling you, it means you're pinching, or your sails are set up wrong. If you're net gaining on them, the crew should be saying that, so the crew doesn't have to keep looking. Look at Zach. Same thing he did last race. Start up the line. He plays the main sheet more than anybody. He just lets it out a little and pumps it back in. He's the strongest sailor out here. One of the strongest. Probably 7637. He's the most physical. Gage is the most physical. Okay, see all these guys down here? You get as far up under them as you can and you lead them. Lead them right. So who would that going to be? That's going to be Ben and Zach. So here's the Borelli. They wanted to get out of there quick, you could tell. And they tacked, and now they got to watch these boats right here. Okay, they're going to go back again. They're just trying to keep it close, I think. They probably feel like they're doing well, and they just want to get in the top 10 and weather on. Sometimes we have to simplify and make that arc. They are crossing everybody on the left. That's why they're going. Zach is crossing everybody. That's why he's still going. Cool. Borellis have a little too much twist. A little heel and a little too much twist. I think they have to go flatter with the main sheet just a fraction tighter. You've got to be able to stall that leech telltale out right at the top, you know, right at one part of the swell, you got to be able to pull the main in and keep the main from luffing and twisting too much. They are doing well though. The Borelli's right in there, and they're watching this boat to windward of them. And if that boat's moving forward on them, it means they're pinching. And if they're gaining, the crew immediately tells them, hey, gain, net gain, keep doing what you're doing. And then a little while later, looks back, yep, still gaining. So that's how you read the tip, and that falls on the crew a lot. So the skipper doesn't have to look so much. The skipper should be taking quick looks at the other boat, and then speed. Quick looks at other boats, and then speed. We're telling the kids, be ready for the wind to go to 260 and build. And look at these guys. These guys are full planing upwind almost. And these guys, look how light they are. These guys are downwind and less wind. Unbelievable. Wow. These guys are, well, race 2 on Sunday. These guys, we talked to everybody about being ready for a jibe set before that race. The forecast for the wind to go to 260. Pretty much everybody was told that. I know it's a hard sport, but yeah, we talked about starting and tacking if you could, because that 260 was going to come at some point, and the weather's never that solid, but we did talk about it. We talked about being ready for a jibe set. Technically, they're going to have to abandon this race. Okay, well, you can make these pigs go once in a while. Julia. Oh, Santi. Ben. Sean. Oh my God, we got a bunch in this pack. Interesting. They dropped their jib to change their pins, and she's got the bang tight because you can see the big overbend wrinkle, and she's got the main sheet tight. That's trying to pull the rig down. The crew is struggling getting it in, it looks like. Change locations, and that's 1 minute right now. That's how far. That's a couple boat lengths. That's 3.5 boat lengths sailing distance to the line, at least, in any sort of lefty especially. So there is current now. The last video showed 0 current. The current has switched in the bay. It's flooding in left to right, so that's what happens out here. This will help us get the starts on.
Get up if you can. John, did you see our downwind?
Yes.
We were at,
Outstanding.
Scoot up. Shit.
Ah, be nice. Move up, Will. Lots of seaweed in the water. I've seen at least 2 boats here that had kelp on their centerboard as they went past me. I really can't tell anybody, not my kids. I really can't talk to them, so I'm kind of conflicted there. My sportsman is like, I should just tell him, but somebody else says, hey, you can't be talking to him. It's not that it's that serious, but the kids have goals here. So look at Benton right in here, had a good race, 9006. Oh, this is tough. See how you slow the boat down when you go down? You keep the stall on the rudder. Another way to slow the boat down. Really nice, dude. I mean, he's holding the lane on her. He might be a touch faster than her. Now, what's interesting about this is the swells are going against you at 4 knots, 4.5 knots, let's guess, okay? So at some point right at the top, your speed over the ground drops to almost nothing. And so you will get less wind at that moment. Then you'll get more wind as you come off the swell. So it's a challenging sport. There's nothing easy about this. I think Vesper got off the line here today. Okay. And then August looks back at these boats. 8614 is good. Auto's pretty good. And you look back at those boats and telling your skipper net gain. But if you're losing to the boats on the right, it just means the wind's shifting right. So if you're killing them, that's not necessarily a great thing. It could be if you're fast, but killing them might mean it's a righty. They look really good. They gotta make sure they get the jib tight enough when the wind picks up. But she's still bending her knees. Once you are trapping hard, which she's not, you pull that jib so hard. The second race got abandoned, so we're still in the second race on Sunday. Race 6, so after this there'll be a thrust for right there. And yesterday was very good training for this. You see this, watch this. Okay, so in the trough, when you see them squirt to the right and flatten out, that's when they get to the top of the swell. Now they're in the trough, powered up. You have to anticipate the swell. There it is. You can't dive down too much. Dive down a little. I think she did that well. That's because the swell decreases your wind strength, because it's moving 4.5 knots towards the right. Okay, and then, yep, right there, you've got to try to almost push the tiller a little and really bend your knees hard. You've got to keep the boat heeled to leeward a fraction as you get to the top of these swells. Yep, relax, bend. Yep, that was better. That's the whole key. This is why East Coasters struggle out here. They don't sail a lot in this side swell condition. You want your clews level. Wyatt's tack is a little lower than his clue, maybe, so the leech twists off a little. I'm not worried about it. It's better to have more twist than not enough twist. Okay, so yeah, clues are level. These leaders, their spinnakers stay very full. Vesper in August, going low, 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 2441. They will move up a ton with a throw out. They were over by about 2 feet in the last race in a U flag yesterday, and the race they won, you know, they got out ahead and they just sailed really awesome. Okay, clues are level. Surprised they're not pumping the kites a little more. There's Kevin and Bella, red, white, and blue kite. The cool thing about this is these guys are all kind of either former or current 29er sailors. Wyatt, Kevin, Bella, Vesper, August. The orange kite, that crew is U.S. national team crew on the 29er. Vesper's dabbled in the 29er. Kevin went to the Youth Worlds in 29ers over there. Bella skippers 29ers and crews in 420s. Ben is somewhere in there. Oh. August, you know, they've really been talking about flying that kite way out away from the boat. I think if it gets windy, you strap it more in closer to the forestay. But this is really interesting. We got to keep working on this. Because I would have the guy back a little more and the sheet in a little more. So it would be closer to the boat. So it was more stable. So it wasn't rocking around as much. But, you know, she's got her vang loose. Heeled the windward at times. She's just floating it out there. I don't think she's lost anything, that's for sure. If I was her, I would consider reaching if Kevin wasn't there. I'd consider just consolidating just a little and trying to ramp up my speed just a little, but I don't know. She really flies that thing way out there. And it looks different than Kevin's, and I think it looks pretty good. It looks similar to Kingston, and Kingston's got a great trimmer. Hers is further, actually, his is sucked in more like I would have it. I just think it rocks around a little too much when it's way out there like that, but that's what they're getting taught, and I think she's game. We could write a book on apparent wind shifts downwind. Okay, it does not look like they've gained over there. It looks like they've done okay. It does look like the left one is closer. Okay, is this a lefty or a righty? If this was a starting line, where would you start? I would start at the other one if it was a starting line. Yeah, I think she's almost taken the lead over there. This is definitely the other side was further upwind. I think I would have started at the other end.
Jack and Samantha are having a killer there, huh?
I think she might be first or second now. She rounded the other gate, and I don't think it was that much further upwind, but you know, she was sixth and all of a sudden she was third as she rounded, so it must have been further upwind. Now the Pirellis right here got out of this corner pretty good. You got Fenton right here, 9006. This might be his second top 10 finish. All they got to do is get around this mark. I think she's second. Yeah, Point Loma breeze too. Theoretically, the wind as you get up here to the right middle should be greater because of the enhancement of Point Loma. Anywho, super fun stuff. And in Maggie are probably 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-ish. They made the course shorter. So while we were going downwind, they grabbed the mark and moved it closer. Vesper is in first, Zach is in second. I think, or that's Kevin in second. Yeah, that's Kevin, 9-8. It's hard because all the new boat's numbers are so close. Yeah, so Vesper first, Kevin second, and that'll be great for their confidence. Vesper first, Zach second, Kevin third. Wyatt fourth. Race 6, Vesper first, Sam second with Zach, Kevin and Bella in third, Wyatt and Fiona in fourth. Styles. It's so good. A good thing Vesper and August really work on the stuff they learn from their coaches and everything. It's really a little scary here, you know, because he's on her win. These guys have lost a bunch back here though, so this is tough. Yeah, she's just coming up just a little to get her air clear. Now Zach's going to try to position to pounce. He's going to try to, yep, see, he's going to start working low, trying to get in a position to pounce. We'll see what happens. Yeah, bye-bye. She out-trimmed him. That was a great battle.
Yeah, I love that Zach's not
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
They're going to come out, their pole's already set. They're good.
Oh, they never jive their pole?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got it on tape. Oh my God. That's one of the best moves I've had as a coach. Wow, Wyatt, tell us how you really feel. Yes! Oh my God, they jived without jiving the pole. That was epic. Nice job. Yay. Oh my God, you just turned like a 19th into 2/10. And you throw out a race now. You throw out your worst score. So you just moved up like a country mile. Here come the Borellis in 10. Fenton and Fenton in 10th. Borelli's in 11th. So Fenton and Steven have 2 top 10s today. They had to go in yesterday, not feeling well. Sick. So really good. Coming out the next day and just putting on a good show. Last race of the regatta, Dave Ferry Series. This is the last race of the series for the 25-26 Dave Ferry Series. Let's see here. We got Zach here. So they will finish the last race at the Windward Mark usually at San Diego Yacht Club. And so I bet you they have the course set where they're going to finish. This is Zach, 9883. He's in the top 4 in the regatta and probably very close to the 3rd. Oh, Kevin. Wow. We don't know the current. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. That's legal. Legal to scull down to a close haul course. We didn't scull the other way. Yeah, I thought that was illegal. There's probably current then. Watch Wyatt. He'll be starting at Yale next September. But you'll watch him. And he looks at the other boats, looks at the wind, and goes speed, 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 speed. Yeah, PT's off to Jack. He sticks it right up, keep his lane. Is he opening the bailer? I don't know. Windward sheet on. Yeah, he's looking to leeward, going speed, looking to windward, going speed, 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 speed. Just takes quick pictures. Known as great crew. I don't know if he's a junior or senior. Exactly what you do. The skipper is sliding their butt in and out. When the boat gets flat, they're on their feet and leaning in. Then as they get pressure, you'll see him hike. You can see the skipper is moving quite a bit without moving the tiller. He just keeps his elbow in the same spot. He bends over at the weight there. In, hike, 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 sit in. You're sliding your butt in and out. Not all the time, but when it needs to be. Not sure who rounded first. I don't know if that's, yeah, that's Kingston. He has a lot of experience. He sails these boats a lot. Then you've got, this is Wyatt. I don't think he was second on that beat for a long time. I think they were just quick. Again, he looks, speed, speed, speed. Speed, speed, speed. See? It's just speed, speed, speed. Then I'll take a quick look. This is Zach and Sam. So Zach and Sam are pretty much assured a top 4 finish in the regatta, possibly top 3. That is Sean Caseberg right behind him with the black and white kite. Vesper having another good race. She won the last race. Orange Spinnaker, Vesper in August. Okay. So they finished strong today. Oh, Julia again. It's all good stuff. All good stuff. Everybody's always in the top half of the fleet. It's really impressive. Wrapping up the video, the real theme of the weekend are these swells. You see this swell right here. And again, you got to remember its effect on the wind strength and the apparent wind. So you're going to see these guys on port tack heel to leeward, and then they'll get to the top of the thing and you'll see them have to head way down like that guy. Oop, see? Look how they have to go down. And by going down, you stay on the swell longer. So that's what people don't understand, is you've got to try to get to the trough. You're hunting for the trough. Yeah. And that's why you see people go in so many different directions. We did find out that Kevin and Bella they're winning the race right now, or second. And they are right where you flagged. So that's going to be a real tough hill to follow. Kingston's going to win this race. He's going to get second in the Perry Series. I think Kingston is a senior, I think. If not, he'll have another strong year. The Perry Series is really the barometer for top-level talent in California. And the series is named after Dave Perry, who's an East Coast sailing coach, mentor, rules expert, world-class sailor, who he came out to California 45 years ago and started training kids out here. CISA Clinic, which still operates today. I did the CISA Clinic. So that's why we have a series named after an East Coast guy on the West Coast. He and Peter Eisler got together with a bunch of members of SDYC in Southern California and put together the CISA Clinic, which is the advanced racing clinic that happens every year, where you have Olympic level coaches and Olympic sailors coaching all the teenagers out here in California for a spring break. Okay, well, it's been a good regatta. San Diego Yacht Club's race committee. So the San Diego Yacht Club regular volunteer race committee runs a lot of our junior regattas too. They use it as training, but they just do it because every department of the yacht club takes care of the other departments. And I don't think I have anything else. I think here's Vesper in August right here. Great day today. They're going to end it with a 1-5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. Here we go. Perry Series champion. That's what you do. You start in the Perry Series in age 8th grade and you get your butt whooped. Then 9th grade you get a little better, and then by 10th grade, you know, you can get top 3, 4s in races once in a while. And then your junior, senior year, gosh, great job, Zach and Samantha. I don't know what they got, but they had a great regatta. Here comes Vesper, moved into 4th. Or maybe 5th. Great end, 1-5. They just moved themselves up like 13 places. Yeah, they got a 5th. Nice. Sean and Lauren had a good regatta. Well, thank you, thank you. There it is. Long days on the water. Really good for developing children. So we'll go in, they'll clean the boats up, they'll go home, do homework, and they'll be at school tomorrow morning. Several of these teams will be getting, a few of these kids will be getting on planes here in about an hour and a half flying to San Francisco, 2 hours, and maybe 3 hours, yeah, and then they'll be at school tomorrow. It's an amazing sport. A lot of, you have to be on time, you gotta have your stuff together, you can't break anything, you can't run into anybody. There's the pressure of the racing, the competition's really good. It's all good for you.